The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers July 24. Katie and Eric have it out. The drama at Forrester Creations reaches a boiling point on The Bold and the Beautiful asterisk as the July 24 episode delivers an emotional showdown that fans won't soon forget. Long-simmering frustrations finally explode when Katie Logan asterisk and Eric Forrester asterisk come face-to-face in a confrontation that could change the balance of power within the family business. With tempers flaring, loyalties being tested, and old wounds reopened, Salem, rather Los Angeles, is in for another unforgettable day of soap opera fireworks. Katie has spent weeks watching the Forrester family unravel. From public scandals to personal betrayals, she has seen the company she once admired become a battleground for egos and secrets. While she has tried to stay out of the chaos, recent events have convinced her that remaining silent is no longer an option. Eric, meanwhile, is carrying the weight of leadership on his shoulders. As the patriarch of the Forrester family, he believes every decision he makes is intended to protect both his loved ones and the legacy he spent decades building. However, not everyone agrees with his methods, and Katie is prepared to challenge him directly. Katie reaches her breaking point. Katie's frustration has been building for some time. She has watched loved ones suffer while Eric continued making controversial decisions that affected everyone around him. Whether it's protecting certain family members from consequences or refusing to acknowledge mistakes, Katie believes Eric has allowed emotion to cloud his judgment. When the two finally meet, Katie doesn't hold back. She questions whether Eric is truly acting in the family's best interests or simply trying to preserve his own vision of the Forrester dynasty. Her words sting because they come from someone Eric respects. Katie isn't interested in creating unnecessary drama. She wants accountability. Eric initially tries to remain calm, reminding Katie that running a family empire is never easy. Difficult choices often have painful consequences, and he insists that outsiders rarely understand the pressure he faces every day. But Katie refuses to accept that explanation. She argues that leadership also requires honesty and transparency, qualities she believes have been missing from Eric's recent decisions. Eric defends his legacy. Eric isn't about to let anyone question his commitment to the family without responding. He reminds Katie of everything he has sacrificed over the years. From building Forrester Creations into a global fashion powerhouse to keeping the family united through countless crises, Eric believes his record speaks for itself. He points out that every generation has benefited from his guidance. Without his determination, many of the opportunities his children and grandchildren enjoy today wouldn't exist. Still, Katie counters that past achievements shouldn't excuse present mistakes. Their disagreement quickly shifts from business strategy to deeply personal territory. Eric feels hurt that Katie would question his integrity, while Katie believes someone finally needs to speak uncomfortable truths. The conversation grows increasingly heated, as both refuse to back down. Family members become caught in the middle. Whenever Eric and Katie clash, it's only a matter of time before other family members become involved. Some side with Eric, believing he deserves respect regardless of recent controversies. Others quietly admit that Katie raises valid concerns about accountability and communication. The divided opinions create even more tension throughout Forrester Creations. Employees begin noticing awkward exchanges in the office. Meetings become uncomfortable. Every conversation seems filled with underlying conflict as everyone wonders whether the disagreement will permanently damage family relationships. Even those who desperately want peace realize this confrontation has been inevitable for weeks. Hidden emotions surface. Beneath the angry words lies something much deeper. Katie genuinely cares about Eric and doesn't want to see him make decisions that could permanently hurt the people he loves. Her criticism isn't rooted in resentment, but in concern. Eric also understands Katie's intentions, even if he doesn't appreciate her approach. That's what makes their confrontation so emotionally powerful. Neither character is acting out of selfishness. Instead, both believe they're fighting for the future of the Forrester family. Unfortunately, good intentions don't always prevent painful consequences. As emotions continue escalating, each harsh sentence creates another crack in an already fragile family foundation. Business problems intensify. Personal disagreements rarely stay personal at Forrester Creations. The conflict between Katie and Eric threatens to spill into company operations, raising questions about leadership and stability. Investors may begin noticing signs of internal division. Employees could lose confidence if executives appear unable to work together. Competitors would certainly welcome any opportunity to capitalize on Forrester's instability. Katie understands these risks, which is partly why she wants immediate changes before problems become even more serious. Eric, however, worries that public disagreement could cause even greater damage than the issues Katie hopes to solve. Both perspectives contain truth, making resolution even more complicated. Unexpected allies could emerge. One of the most intriguing aspects of the July 24 episode is how this confrontation might reshape alliances. Characters who have remained neutral may finally choose sides. Some longtime Eric supporters might privately agree with Katie's criticisms. Others who previously questioned Eric could decide family unity matters more than individual disagreements. Soap fans know that today's enemies often become tomorrow's allies. Likewise, today's strongest partnerships can crumble overnight. The ripple effects of Katie and Eric's argument may continue influencing storylines long after this episode ends. A defining moment for Eric. This confrontation could represent a major turning point for Eric personally. Rather than simply dismissing Katie's concerns, he may eventually reflect on whether there's truth behind her criticism. Great leaders often grow after facing difficult conversations. If Eric chooses self-reflection instead of defensiveness, this painful encounter could ultimately strengthen both his leadership and his relationships. Of course, there's also the possibility that pride prevents any immediate reconciliation. Eric has never been someone who changes course easily. That stubborn determination has helped him achieve incredible success, but it has also created some of his greatest personal conflicts. What's next? As the dust settles following their explosive confrontation, the biggest question becomes whether Katie and Eric can repair the damage. Will either one apologize? Can they find common ground before family divisions become irreversible? Or has this argument exposed fractures that have been hidden beneath the surface for far too long? Meanwhile, the rest of the Forrester family will be forced to navigate the emotional fallout while continuing to deal with their own complicated lives. One conversation has the potential to reshape multiple relationships, proving once again that on the bold and the beautiful asterisk, words can be just as devastating as actions. The July 24 episode promises powerful performances, emotional confrontations, and the kind of family drama that has defined the series for decades. Katie's willingness to challenge Eric may shock those around her, but it also reflects the growing realization that silence is no longer an option.